Alright guys, so finally we're getting to the part where I'm actually going to bring an image in. So I'm going to left click, I have my selection tool on, and I'm going to select the box that I want, the frame that I'm going to go ahead. And I know it's a frame because there's a big X through it. And now I'm going to go to File and I'm going to go to Place, or you can hit Command D. So in the future I'm going to hit Command D because otherwise I go to File every time. This kind of takes up extra time. So I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to go back to that folder that I told you guys and I put all my images. See how easy that is? And then I'm just going to left click and I'm going to figure out, well, what do I want to put in there? And I think I'm going to change it up. I don't have to use the same images for this one, maybe vary it up a little bit. And I'm going to save another video for setting up your images so that it actually suits being printed. And what's a good resolution and all that, but I'm going to save that for another video because it's really using like Photoshop and other, or Illustrator. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my pattern that I created with the line and the mouse, and I'm going to go ahead. I don't need to show import options for this, okay? So by default, this is selected. This is more if I was importing something like a multi-page document, like a PDF. So we'll go with this one, and then I'm going to hit open. So see, it pops up, takes a little bit of time to kind of fit in there, but it's really big. Okay, so the frame is one thing, the actual image is another. So now I'm going to go to the direct selection tool, I'm going to left click on that, and then when I click, do you see how big the image is? Alright, so I can actually click and drag in. I'm going to hit Control Z again because you can see like the proportions got messed up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my Shift key and then I'm going to go to one of these anchors, the white box, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to left click and hold and then drag in. When I turn it blue, that means it's selected. When I hold the Shift key, it's going to be proportional. Okay, so hold the Shift key, left click and drag, and then I'm going to try to get it in there and see how I can left click it because I have the direct selection. It's directly selecting the image, and then I can move it around and say, oh, I kind of like how this looks, or I can make it smaller, and then I can hold my Shift key on my keyboard and drag that in. I think I want a little bit more of the pattern showing. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to do my selection tool, and then I'm going to tap the letter W on my keyboard, so we're going to go in preview mode. And so you can see the bleed, that's what it's getting cut off. And I can kind of preview, this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to have white little borders. So let's do this again. I'm just going to left click, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Place. I'm going to pick another image. Maybe do the notebook here. I will go with that, and I'm going to Now I am going to tap the letter A on my keyboard, or you can click on your direct selection tool and it will actually select the image. Alright guys, so I have this selected using my direct selection tool, which is the white little arrow. Okay, so another way to go ahead and fit this, I can go to my object up in the menu bar, and there's something called fitting, and I've memorized these keyboard shortcuts, so I kind of know like this is the way I want it to fit, and I just switch between the keyboard shortcuts, and then I know like, I can fit frame proportionally. Definitely you don't want to stretch things out, and I'll show you just the difference. There you go. See how it fits proportionally? Now if I go back to object, and then I go to fitting, and then I go just to, let's see, to content. See, it changes that, fit frame to content, so the content then expands, the frame expands out. I'm going to hit Command Z, so don't worry. So you want to be mindful when you go, if I want to do, I usually do the fit proportional, and there's also a setting, so in Adobe Indesign, if you wanted to do it every single time, and I always forget to change this because back in the old versions they didn't have this, but in your preferences there's actually a way when it handles images when they first come in, you can set them to fit proportionally every single time. Alright, to go to that setting where you set it every single time so it just fits automatically, I have to go to InDesign. You go to your preferences, go to General, and then in the General section, go all the way down to Content Aware Fit. I think it was on 2019 they added this, so, and then I just check mark that and hit OK. All right, now I'm just going to speed it up because I've shown you twice how you actually import it, and I'm just going to fill these in real quickly. Alright guys, I'm done adding my images, and you can see I have 6 images. I need to fill this area with some bit of information, and I'll save that for the next video because it has to deal with text. Alright, thanks.